listen, guys, super excited about this because I see this man everywhere. We always run into each other at the events. I've got super producer in the studio with me, Rick Rock. Thank you so much because I saw you. We saw each other. We caught up. Shout out to Slim 400. I was at the event, linked up with Tyrone, and then we're like, let's make this happen.
Right.
And so I finally got you in the studio because sometimes I'll be running into you at the events and stuff in LA.
I'll see you at Dog Spot one time.
I don't want to say Dog Spot.
Pulling
Yeah,
up.
we be over there though.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, you worked with everybody from Pac to E40 to Jay Z to Fabulous, just being in the studio. So when I tapped in with you, I was like, when you come, like, I want to hear like the stories that we've never heard before. I mean, you've got stories in the vaults right now. And I just want to hear every single story that you have because I'm so fascinated. Like when Pac recorded Hit 'Em Up, you were in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but to me, that is one of the greatest diss songs of all time.
Right.
Of all time. And for me, I think if you ask me, like, why see, it was the passion. Like, as soon as he jumped on the mic, fuck your bitch and the click you claim. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pac came out swinging.
Yeah, he cut to the chase.
What was that like when you were in the studio? You're like, oh my God, it's about to get real.
Yeah, no, it was, I was a fly on the wall. I just came from Montgomery, Alabama, flew out here, and I was a fly on the wall. So I was waiting for Pac to get there, So he had I think it was the Soul Train Awards or something he had went to, and oh no, that was the other disc. This one, the Outlaws came in, and they was talking about Chino XL.
Ooh, yeah, I remember.
And I think it was Exhibit or something he had said or something. And they came in, they came in with the shit. They came in with the shit, you feel me? They came in like, nigga, these niggas is, nigga, baba woo woo woo. Pac, and they played the song for Pac or whatever, and then he just went in. And then when he was going in, is that the one when the mic start scrambling up?
Yeah.
So it wasn't an effect or anything that they had. He was just overloading the mic with basically that passion you was talking about. So he was just going in, and the mic start crackling or whatever, and he was like, no, we got to do it again. I was like, man, fuck, we're keeping that shit hard, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the whole day was amazing to me just because I was, like I said, a fly on the wall and that guy that's trying to make it and whoop-de-whoop. So when he came in with that, they laid it down, the Outlaws laid their parts down, and one of them didn't get on the song or whatever. Pac was like, you didn't finish in time, you ain't getting on the joint or whatever.
He was
one
like
of them
that?
didn't get on. Yeah, that's how in my sessions, because I did maybe 4 or 5 sessions with Pac, and he was like that. He was just,
either you got to come ready or you not ready.
Right. He was like, it's just almost like he was on a mission, man. Like, like he knew or something. It's a trip when I look back now as I'm older.
Right.
And I look back on that young man at that time when I was so young,
but yet so talented, right? Like just so driven. A genius, one of one.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're out there, you're going to events, and you hear Hit 'Em Up, does it always take you back to the studio?
Oh yeah,
it does.
A lot of that Death Row stuff because that whole All Eyes on Me album, because when I got there, which I came with Mike Mosley, and we drove from the Bay Area. We drove in a caravan, me, Mike Mosley, Richie Rich, Sibo, and our company we had with us, whatever. So we slid up here to get with Pac. And so I don't know they know Pac already from the Bay Area. They got relationships because I just came back from Alabama. Even though I'm from the Bay, I had moved to Alabama. So I came back to do the music. And so I'm with them, and we get to Can-Am. So I walk in, and it's the Death Row Studios, but It's called Can-Am, and it had the poster, with Rage, the black. What is it? The Source magazine cover, or whatever.
It had to be the Source, yeah.
With the all black,
with the heads, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a trip. I walk down the hallway. I look to the left. I see DJ Quick. He mixing. I got my mind made up. Come on, so he's mixing. I see the braids and everything. I look down the hall, like, dang, man, this nigga is real. So I go down the hallway, and then Pac is in another room. We go in there, and so he's like, I got to play you the album. So he plays us all the album, 40, all of us, we in there. And then, he gets out of that, and he says, okay, let's wiggle. And then Johnny J, rest in peace. So Johnny J, he had stepped out and went somewhere, but he left this MPC 1200 there. And so when I came from Montgomery, Alabama, I had a Cools bag, which my mama smoked Cools, so she had a Cools bag, and I put my, DATs and stuff in there. And so when it, opportunity presented itself, I opened it up, slid that thing in there while we was waiting on Johnny J, and loaded it up and pressed play. And then Pac was like, "What's that?" You know what I mean? And I was like, "Man, that's you." And that's how I really got on over there, because I was just coming with Mike Mosley.
Right.
But what the fuck? He got a real life SB 1200, and I got 1200 discs.
Oh my God!
That ain't like, God ain't like, hold on, get in that bag and pull that out. And I don't know what possessed me. I put it in there, and Pac turned around like, we he was like, "What's that?" Whatever. I said, "That's you." He said, "We writing to this." You know what he's saying? And he just started writing that shit, and then, he wrote me in the history books, got me my check and everything.
My
So
God.
back then there was a thing like, you might not get paid, Suge, royalties are your business or whatever, but Pac, we got it together though.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that you took that opportunity, you're like, let me just pull this out right now.
Oh yeah, that's you.
And then he jumped on it.
Yep. I went outside. I mean, I'm just a cool, yeah, man, for sure, that's you, whatever. I got at my nigga. I say, Mike, let me use your phone real quick. I got that phone, went out the same route through Death Row, right to the front, through the car, called my nigga. Nigga! This nigga Tupac just whoa, nigga, blah, 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 and Death Row, and da-da-da-da-da, just because we hip-hoppers out there in Alabama trying to make it.
Right.
So they know me from that, so I'm calling them just like, man, this shit is unbelievable. It's coming to fruition. It's unfolding before my eyes like a lawn chair.
And it's like all that hard work, right? And you're like, this is the moment. This is the moment people talk about.
Yes.
And you get to actually sit there and be like, this is that moment.
Right. It ain't no pixie dust. It ain't no magic potions. It is a series of of moments, and in what you do in those moments, and recognizing the moment. Even if you don't at the time recognize it, when you get older, you will recognize you took that chance, that shot, because when I look back, I'm like, man, the audacity, the utter gall for me to just, slide it in, and the rest, was cracking, and just things start to spiral.
That was that hunger, though, Rick.
Man,
that was that hunger.
The love.
I mean,
of the
listen, you
hip-hop,
drove from the
man.
Bay to LA, that hunger, and you're like, this is what I'm doing. And it's just, it sounds like a movie. The fact you call somebody from home, and they're like, yeah, one of us made it. We out there.
Yes.
How was it in the studio, like producing Trading War Stories with Pac?
That was that day. So that day, he played us that album, and then he was like, okay, because we Ain't Hard to Find, and then we did Trading War Stories. So Trading War Stories, we was just all in there, just like we in this room right now, a lot of us.
Right.
And, and I as soon as I got the beat up, I slid the disc in, like I was saying earlier. The beat came up. Now he has it in the machine and it's looping, so everybody could write. So he's writing. He's on the mixing board. Legs crossed like a gentleman or some shit. And he's just like, and he's just hit the thing. He's just, I mean, to me it was like he was tracing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It looked like he was tracing the way he was writing. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's just, just consistent writing. It might be. It's like that. It's no, and then he's like, okay, let me go in there or whatever. So he went in the booth, and then he just, he spit that shit. He spit that ad-libs, and I remember thinking, man, I wish he would move the ad-libs over, like he could put them a little bit more on beat,
right,
on the verse. That's what I was thinking in my head, and I was like, nigga, that's Tupac. You know what he doing or whatever. So he laid his shit. So between me giving him the beat and him laying his verse, I say no more than 15 minutes between the whole transaction with him. But then, everybody else started writing, because he came out, sat by the booth, and, we was just waiting now, and everybody started writing their verse, and 40 like, I got a lot of heat in my shit, so I should take a little more time, some shit. He laying on the floor and shit, and I'm just looking like, man, this is the real Death Row studio, bruh. This is Death Row, this Pac, Dr. Dre in there, fucking DJ Quick in the other room. Yeah, it was. Let me get back real quick. My bad.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
D-Shot and Richie Rich and them, they was doing background vocals with Pac on that song, Trading War Stories, and then the Outlaws got down. Storm, shout out. and Noble, all them, they got down. Then no, there was another song on that day. Yeah, I'm tripping.
You guys got so many hits. It's crazy.
But they all got down, and and that's how that went. It was a lot of fun. I was a fly on the wall that was being blessed at the time, so I was on top of the moon. You know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck about no money or nothing.
Was Pac's work ethic everything people say it was? Because they said he was a beast, and when he went in the studio, everybody had to step up their game.
Come on, we came from the Bay. Look, when we went back home, we was dancing to a whole new tune. We was like, okay, we need studio monitors,
right?
You know, like Death Row had. It was like, you know, and then you see how Pac, we ain't gonna sit all day and just listen to a song, nigga. Pac was like, bring the next one up, bring the next one up. You know, I put one beat on, he put his hands in his ears like this, and I was like, oh, that ain't a good sign.
Oh man, no, he didn't.
Yeah, because we was tracking and it was the sound that was hella loud. I was tracking it with C-Wo. And he did that. I was like, oh, that ain't gonna be a good sign.
Damn.
But you know, he ended up getting down. I don't. He's like he influenced us when we got back to the Bay. My work ethic.
He inspired you guys.
That.
He lit a fire.
Yeah, you know, I'm 10 beats strong a day, like for years, eons.
That's a lot.
I just bang them out. I just look up in the sky or out my window, and I had that window down. I just look out that window, and they just come. I just okay, get out. And they get out, you know, and then I go to the next one and shit. But Pac, we were doing it way different back then. You know,
I love
sit
that.
in the studio and we marinate on the song, and the producers want to fix everything. Pac's like, man, fuck all that.
See, for some reason, I always thought too, like maybe he was a perfectionist, but he just went in there, and I think his perfection was being so raw.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think that's exactly it. And he was, you know, he's before his time. You know, it's like, I wish I could get with him the amount of time and not talent, but time and just getting better as a musician and a producer. I could get with him now. I think it would probably equal up now. When I hear the shit I did with him then, it wasn't on his level. He just made it better. You know what I mean? He got
and everything all before the age of 25.
Man,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
so young. Now we look at him, we're like, oh, you're 25, and all the work that he did.
Yep.
It is a testimony to the work ethic and him being a beast in the studio. Now you worked on E40's Ghetto Report Card. Let's speaking about E40, what was your favorite track that you worked on that album?
Do your head like this, 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 do your head like this. Because it's doing this.
Right.
The beat is doing this.
You got me doing that right now,
you jump on the beat and you do this shit with it. So, I mean, and the way he wrote it and just the sustain, the whole shit. It's so mobby and intricate and off and on. And, you know, I love when I do something like that and I know it's not there. It's not, if I didn't do it, it's not there.
Right.
You know, so in other words, I didn't look and trace it or take DJ Quick or Dre's or nobody's shit. This shit is my shit. Like
that shit was authentic.
My shit. Like,
right.
It really is. And that's all I really wanted to do in hip hop. That's what it was initially. You didn't bite. Are you worthy? You know, of celebration. And that's what my whole journey has been. It's not been money, it's been
I think that's
worthy?
What's different about hip hop back then.
Mm-hmm.
Everything had its own unique, customized, authentic sound. Every artist did, as opposed to some artists now.
Right.
But I think that's why, 30 years later, people are still bumping this.
Wow.
You go to concerts, you go to the clubs, and you see a younger generation rapping every word for word.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show you how timeless it is.
Right.
But then also, too, you worked on Yay Area, and I feel like that is the Bay Area anthem.
Right, it is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know you said, like, do your head like this, but did you know Yay Area, like, to this day, that is, like, for us in LA, we're like, oh, that's the Bay Area anthem.
Yeah, nah, when I even to this day, that's when I do like that slap. Don't get me twisted.
Right.
But I did not know. I knew it was gonna slap. That's all I was like, okay, did I do my job? Did we record it right? Everything, okay, everything is, I did my job. So it's gonna go. They're gonna fuck with it. But I didn't know it was gonna be, because it was no video or nothing, but they just fucked with it organically. Right. So then, so it became that, and he was becoming 40 was becoming a mega and I was being solidified. Like my mold was starting to harden and solidify in the Bay as like one of them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I didn't come taking what you do. I came doing what I do, and we pushed the culture forward. You know, that way, and you know, somebody that's respectable, respected, and respectable, and
I think what the difference is that, you know, people will go and they'll produce a beat, but I think what stands you out is that you created sounds. And there's a difference with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I just feel like, you know, with like the Bay Area and creating like the Hyphy movement, even at, you know, for that, it's just so big, and you're such a big part of that culture. You know, the Hyphy movement. I did radio in Vegas, and everybody that goes to Vegas, let me just tell you, a lot of people there are from the Bay Area.
Vegas.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Franzen. I worked with DJ Franzen for a minute too. But we even had, at one point, I was telling them a story where one of our street teamers got fired because she was from the Bay Area. She's working at the radio station in Vegas, and they were ghost riding the whip, the station vehicle.
Right.
And they crashed into a fence. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was lit.
That's
but
right.
she got let go. But we're like, damn, they were ghost riding the station vehicle in the parking lot.
She really from the Bay. She probably from the town, right up in there. They was going.
But did you understand, like at that moment too, how big the Hyphy movement was gonna be?
No, so we were signed to Virgin, and we were trying to come with a single. I wanted some hard, whatever, you know, hard, something I know that will, you know, I'm all hip hopped out or whatever, right? So Big John, who's the what is he over now? He's CEO, president. At the time was EMI, and he had got he signed me to my publishing deal, but he also started a label, Montbello Records, that signed the Federation, my group.
Right. Shout out to Goldie.
Right,
Yes.
Right. So, we were just trying to find a single, and he was like, so he came to my house. I have it on video. He came to the house, and he was like, play the album and shit. He was like, yeah, you guys are not the type of group that I could just put out and, you know, it's just going to work. You guys need a movement. You need a movement. Well, there's something where 100 guys got 100 friends, and the 100 friends got 100 friends, and everybody just fucking moving with you. That's what you need. And I was like, okay. So I just need to encapsulate the Bay, like a drink, like inside of a canister that reads the Bay on it. And when you open and drink it in your ears,
that's crazy.
It's you know, you taste it. And so I just started, you know, trying to going up tempo. You know, we're going up because the Bay was real mob and slow. We might yeah, you know, and we'll talk, you know, 40 get to dropping all over the place and, you know, whatever. And then I was like, no, we're going to take it up. We're going to go up. And I'm going to just do, because I came from sampling, so I'm going to just be real drum driven with no samples and just be creative. Dude, you know, take a sound from a car going, and just put it in there, you know, and just make it sonically sound like where we're from. And party and have fun. Something instead of taking LA style and you know, something that's like this us, you know. And so I just try to encapsulate what was going on around us.
You captured it perfectly. It's still strong to this day.
Right.
Everybody knows the Hyphy movement.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody understands that that's a culture on its own. You know what I mean, for the Bay Area. But then, like, let's move to LA, Snoop Dogg, We All We Got, DPG. Now, will.i.am gave you your flowers. My favorite color is blue.
Right.
You even had him wearing a blue beanie, giving you your flowers off of that track. Right. Listen, that's probably one of the hardest tracks on that album.
Right.
Let's talk about that. And even the fact that you have one producer, like, you know what I'm saying, just really showing you love.
I think it's dope. You know, will.i.am is one of the greatest hip hoppers turned megastar, because we were signed together. I believe it was Motown Records way back in the day when I was on with Cosmic Slapshot, me, Big Lurch, and Dooney Baby, who was in the Federation too. But and so we seen them. We was on Crenshaw somewhere at a little thing, and they were signing, and we were signing like autographs so people could come in or whatever.
Right.
And we did a few shows. So to watch him grow and do what he did, you know, and look back and see, and can look back and still see and support what we doing or what I do, or you know, I think it's dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I was at an event recently and a girl was wearing blue and she walked by me. She's like, my favorite color is blue. And it was dope.
Yeah.
She was actually wearing a blue LA Dodgers bucket hat. It was cool. Yeah, I was at an event and I was like, okay, that song, the beat's so catchy. You know what I mean? One of my favorite songs on the album. But also, too, when you slid Snoop Dogg the beat for Smoke Up, did you know that was going to be part of the DPG album at the time?
Nah, so I actually sent the wrong beat. And see how this is crazy. Snoop was on my Instagram, and he hit me and he was like, I want that beat. I was like, okay, it's all good, say less. So, I put it together. So I called the beat Led Zeppy, right? And somehow when I was saving it, saved the names on two beats. So it's kind of the two beats was named similar. So I sent him the wrong beat. So he called me back up. Man, this shit. He said, I already got a song for it. Because he asked me for Corrupt.
Right.
Corrupt was working on the album, he said. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was going to send him the song. Then he called me back talking about he already got a full song done. He finna send me the session files. It's DPG. It's going to be their first look. And I was just like, what? Okay, for sure. Okay, cool. Let me hear the. He sent me the beat. I'm like, bro, that ain't even the beat that I was like, okay, whatever.
It just worked.
Yeah.
See how that works?
It was just a beat I made maybe 5 minutes. It was simple. Just one of them simple beats. It's got a lot of space. It's not, and I didn't expect it. So that's how that happened.
And then it's crazy because now it's on the DPG reunion album. We All We Got.
Right.
That's so dope. Like seriously, like when they came out, everybody, I feel like the West was excited again. You know what I mean? Especially to see a Dog Pound reunion. So to be part of that and working with like Daz and Corrupt and Snoop, and how does that feel? Just because I know you do so much and you have, this resume, but it still has to feel good two times where you're like, man, these are legendary artists.
Come on, I'm a fan. Like I said, my journey is a worthy journey. Am I worthy to do this? Like I still feel I've chased it childishly. You know what I'm saying? I don't chase the money part. I don't deal with that aspect of life, of humanity, as far as the trying to claw or get around a motherfucker or whatever you got to do through life mentality. I've been blessed to just chase this music, and so when I see him in the studio, because I came to bring him this other song, LA Kinda Love, that's on the record, right?
Shout out to LA Kinda Love.
Right.
That was dope.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's a summertime song.
Right.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No,
I was just excited.
Yeah. So I came to bring him that, and so he started playing me the album, and I was just listening to it, start breaking down some shit. I'm gonna start roll up something. I'm like, the fuck? So the intro coming. I was like, okay, hold on, and then as it just rolled on, when it got towards the end, I just like, bro, this is like, if this was 1995, it would be all summer. As far as how people absorb the music, this would be like a year-long type of joint, like one of those real death row albums.
Right.
And then I got to looking around, I see RBX and Corrupt came, and then I seen Daz. And then he started playing a premiere beat. And then they got in there, I saw Corrupt lay his verse, and he came out, and Snoop was like, I don't know, that I don't feel it all the way. Just shoot that one more time, right? And they come out and they laugh and they talk, and I told him, I said, bro, this shit is so dope, bro, because I know y'all story as a fan, and all the ins and outs, ups and downs, like in a relationship, and y'all are here right now doing what y'all was doing back then that inspired me, and I'm in here with y'all to watch it. I'm still living my dream. I'm still pursuing it every day throughout the years to get me even here again in front of you. And while I'm here, I'm just observing, and I have to tell you what I'm observing because I fuck with it. Like it's in me, not on me. So when I'm watching y'all, it's like y'all are the same. It's in y'all, not on y'all, and that's dope in itself. But then the relationship, the mending, the binding, the bridging, the grownness, the life journey, it's just something to behold. And I was glad I was there. And I think the album reflects that. I think people feel that. I think it was something that was meant to be for them as a family. You know, and it's another brick in hip hop, in the building of hip hop. You could put that one up in there, seal that motherfucker up in the whole building of hip hop, and it's its own brick that's holding up the whole thing. I think they did an excellent job in a short time, and yeah, I'm proud to be on it.
You know, I love seeing when Corrupt's on stage too, because I always tell him, I see him every time I tell him, I'm like, you don't miss a beat. You don't miss a beat.
Right.
You're on point every single time you hit that stage.
Yeah.
And I think it's just in you, like you said. And the fact that you're in the studio, how flawless do those parts are those working parts together with Snoop and Daz and Corrupt? Like,
oh, it's you know, they're musicians, and even if they don't play instruments, their mouth, they've honed in and their craft of their playing their instrument, their vocal, and you know, so they just know it's innate or something. They know how to land. They just flow with it. You know what I'm saying? As far as the technique of MCing and shit, and their voices sounded great. Daz sounded up, you know, and their in between was cool. So it's like I think you could change that, or maybe a little bit more in fluctuation on that. They're taking it serious, you know. It was dope to see them in there.
And it's cool because you go in and there's no egos. It's really just to create the sound.
I didn't see none. And Daz was like, "Oh, okay, I want you to put the because in the smoke up there's some like the da-da, it's like a jail cell door closing, and there's another sound effect, and he was like, I want you to put those in there. And I was like, okay, I got you. So they still, his producer ear, because I'm looking at him while he playing the album and my song come on, because I'm thinking, what is Daz thinking?
Right.
I know he's producer, and you know he hears things and the records he done made and been a part of, and he's just you know.
I had asked him because
like
when we were at the listening party at the compound with Snoop, I was looking at him as he was listening, and I could see him listening with a different type of ear than everybody else.
Right.
So when I interviewed him, I mentioned it, and he was like, yeah. And he actually said that was the first time he heard everything mastered.
Right.
Yeah. So he was like, I was listening. I said, I saw you listening a little different than everybody else. He's like, yeah. He's like, I have that producer ear. I'm listening to the different sounds. And I think that's dope. Speaking of sounds, so listen, we were talking about Gudda, right? Like that shit goes hard. But in the beginning, that
Yeah.
Is that Norman Bates?
No.
No? Okay, I'm wrong.
Okay,
We were all trying to figure
right.
it out. Okay.
You were right. Now, how could you be? What did I just say? It was.
Okay, it was.
But then we don't want to clear that sample. So then I just played it over, but in a different key, different pitch or whatever. So it's me playing it, but it initially had the Norman Bates sample in it.
Okay, that's what we were saying, because we were trying to figure it, and I was like, no, that's Norman Bates. That's that shower moment right there. If you had to pick Gudda, Yay Area.
Yay Area.
Really?
Over Gudda?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that's just the anthem right there.
Yeah, I just like the you know, the up and then drop to the area and then have the spacing in there and just the, you know, and is that the one with the sample in it with the we beat? Is that one? Yeah, and the whole, you know, the Diggables thing, because I was, you know, because I did it with Snoop with the Are you born that? I got it dripping like water. I just was doing that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I just like that whole aspect of that song. Gudda, I liked it. I just thought I never all the way liked it as much as when I changed the music. You know what I'm saying? We had another version, and I think in my mind I was like, yeah, I had to change it. It's not the same, I think. But people don't know that.
But listen, your Mount Rushmore producers. Let me ask you.
Ooh. Wow. Hip hop? Mm-hmm. Just hip hop.
Just hip hop.
I don't know if okay. It's Dr. Dre.
Uh-huh.
DJ Premier. Ooh, I say them because those are people who I have been chasing creatively for years, like inspired by. But there's me, Battle Cat.
Ooh, yeah.
Personally, I don't know if anybody feels different. Battle Cat. We're gonna slide Rick Rock up in there.
I heard that.
No, we not. No, we not.
No, let's do it.
No, we not. Huh. Just Blaze. I love Teddy. I love Timberland's he's hip hop. Fuck that. He do a lot of shit. Timberland, Dr. Dre, Timberland, DJ Premier, Battle Cat, fucking Rick Rock. Them is my favorite. But there's some doper levels of other music producers I like though. But the hip hop, I'll say I fuck with that.
What's the secret to the longevity in this game? Which is a question that I think a lot of people that are in the entertainment industry can take from this and apply it to their life. Like, what's the secret to the longevity? Because there's a lot of people that come and go in this, industry.
Putting paint where it ain't, doing what they can't and ain't. That's it. Consistency, persistence. Without those two words, you're not going. For sure. The words, already say what they're supposed to do. Be consistent, persistent. So, be a cool person, love it, and trace what's in you. So, like, for me, this is what I would tell somebody. You want your music to be, because it's all in your mind. You want it to be tangible to other people. So, the best thing is for your thoughts to inspire and people to love your original thoughts or your original way your brain works. So you want your music to be like a person out walking around physically that people can see. Oh, what's up, Rick Rock? Oh, that ain't you. That's the music. It looks like me. It walks around. It talks and it mingles, dances with people, my music. And you want your music to do that. People know that's Rick Rock. Right. Walking around when we're dancing. If you do Rick Rock, you're gonna have a person out there, but it's gonna be a mutated person. Like they're gonna that's not Rick Rock out here. You need your own. So I just say, do you try to trace what's in your head? Try to get exactly what's in your head out, and be persistent and pursue that. And if you're not hella good, have an ear. You might not be good at that. You might start off doing beats, but now you do at A&R where you're hella good at that. You're good at connecting people, your personality, whatever. But as far as the producers, be original, put a voice out there, because you chasing rabbits down holes or trying to be like me or be like Dre or be like whoever the new hottest person is. It's a losing battle. You'll get a placement, but you'll soon see, that'll go by in 2-3 months, and you trying to be. It's 20 years later since that came out,
right?
And you still, you doing whatever you're doing. So you gotta be at it, gotta love it. You gotta chase it every day. Build your motor skills up, even if you're not motivated. Get the muscle memory in, and put your time in, man. I
can't let you leave without talking about Jay Z.
Okay.
We got to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Dynasty, Rock La Familia, like being in the studio there, because was there, like, I had heard, like, at first he wasn't a fan, and then you walked in, and you, like, how did all that happen?
Nah.
And did that make you a little nervous?
Nah. So what happened was I sent a beat in to EMI. It was out on Sunset back in the days. Big John was there, and Jay Z walked. Yeah. Jay Z walks into the office, so Big John was like, "Hold on, man, let me play you some beats and shit." Because he's like, Jay Z's just in here laying on my couch and shit. I'm just doing work,
Yeah.
So say, "Oh, let me play you some beats." So he put some beats on, and one of the beats came up. So he's like, Jay Z's on the couch, standing on the couch, like, "Yo, this is fucking crazy." Whatever. He say, "Hold on, man, let me call this nigga right now." So he called me, and I'm in my apartment in Sacramento, shit, going through it. I get the call, like, I've been sending Big John beats, nothing's cracking. I'm sending them beats. You go to FedEx and send them off. There wasn't no internet.
Right.
Sending them off. And I'm getting nothing. So he called me, and all of a sudden, he's like, "Yo, I got this nigga Jay Z on the phone." Jay Z's like, "Yo, it's crazy," in the background. So he likes this one beat. He said, I need you to get that beat together. So I'm like, okay, cool. So let me hear the beat. So he played the beat. I'm like, he like that? The beat's like, it's all like, it's slithery, sloppy, it's mobby, it's funk. Like, I'm like, he want that? He's like, yeah. So I was like, cool. So I get it all together, get it on a 2-inch reel. 2-inch reels was $250 back,
Damn.
Get it on the reel. So they get me out to New York. I get to New York. I get in the studio, Baseline Studios, get up in there, put the reels on, wait for Jay Z. Jay Z gets there. We put it on, it's playing, he's listening, Then he's like, I don't like that beat no more. Like, you got anything else? And in my mind, it was like, and then it's like, like this whole shit just crashed on me. And I was like, I played a few joints. Now I'm getting a little nervous. I got the DATs in. I'm playing, So I'm like, hey, let me just, there was a keyboard back there. And I was like, let me just get on a keyboard or whatever. So then I started fucking around. And next thing you know, I did that Get Your Mind Right, baby. Get Your Mind Right on that album. And that's what got me back in. So I was like, okay. And he started writing. Then I did Parking Lot Pimpin'. And then he was, he was on. So then I came back, did Change the Game. And I started doing a bunch of that stuff. So I wasn't nervous except for that moment.
Right, because at that moment, you just seen the nose.
Right, but then after it started working and he started standing on the couch rubbing his head, and then he got in the booth and I'm hitting the buttons. Oh, could you do that one more time, Jay Z? Right. I'm feeling it a little bit. And Jay Z was like, yo, who does this? He's like, I'm going to do it again. He's like, but who does this? Like, who are you to tell me? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I didn't know him at the time. I mean, I knew who he was, but his personality.
Right.
So he was like, who does this? But so them sessions was nothing but fun. And then because the first video was supposed to be Parking Lot Pimpin' instead of Pharrell came in and slid through and took my moment at the left. He came with that ding, 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 ding. What was the name of it? Was it Beautiful? No, that's Snoop. Whatever that song was he came out with for that album. Give It To Me. Give it to me. That's something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The whole video was for my song, Parking Lot Pimpin'. So I'm in there, we working, and he starts, yo, okay, so I'm gonna do the video like this. He was like, we used to iron our clothes by putting them in the beds that fold into the wall.
Right.
I said, I ain't even seen one of the motherfuckers in real life. So he's like, we put the clothes on there and we, put them in there, and then the next day, we take them off to go to school, whatever. Woo. That's how I'm doing the video. So I'm like, this nigga's gonna do a video to this shit, right? So I'm just, so yeah, but then the last minute Pharrell came with that Give It To Me video. So they took that treatment.
Right.
Because he was still shooting it, and they just shot that video to, to his beat though. But yeah, that whole shit was that whole thing was just nothing but dope. I mean, Jazz came in there, and then he was that Jazzo, who he came up under, and they was in there together, and then he was just telling me a little game. He was like, "Don't play the money, don't play the money, play the odds or something like that." You know what I'm saying? Just. He had
But you've had some dope moments. Rick, have you ever thought of writing a damn book or something?
Man, I'm working on a doc right
really?
now.
What?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Man, I'm just working on a doc. It's just one of those things where I got a lot of footage from, my journey, real footage from when I was taking them, and just, me and a lot in interviews and people, and I'm just putting it together. But I'm doing it, and I got to get out. I try to micromanage everything. And get creative on it. So it's like a work that's been lingering and as I keep moving on, so yeah.
I think that's what you need. I mean, just from the stories that you're talking about today, from Jay Z to Snoop to E40 to Pac, I mean, they're all the greats. Those are all goats, and you've been in the studio with each and every one of them. So imagine how crazy this doc is going to be.
Man. That's why I want to do it, because I know somebody's going to do it after I'm gone.
Might as well tell your own
story. We're going to tell
story.
it for them.
Right, that part right there.
We're going to do it. Yeah, we're going ahead and do it. So.
Hey, listen, and then the fact right now, the West is just celebrating, right? Shout out to Kendrick. The West is just celebrating.
Oh, man, one of the dopest. I've been chasing the music, listening fan, trying to be it. That moment Kendrick had the galvanizing matter of the issue is...
Right.
The energy that he brought to everything, and wow. I mean, the non-out-of-breathness through the whole function, the sound, I'm all into all of that.
Right.
The bringing everybody into the moment.
He just
got
had
the Bay
everybody.
on it. Yeah,
there's just people. I mean, people across the country that are not even from the West Coast are celebrating.
I enjoyed myself. I watched it a couple times in the car with the sisters. Watch the show.
It was amazing. Yeah, he did something, you know what I mean, especially for the West. Listen, I got to tell you right now, you just being here has been just, an honor for me. I love seeing you around. I love seeing you do your thing. But I am going to the Bay in a few weeks to host an event in Oakland. Give me some advice for the Bay because, I'm an LA girl.
Okay. See, you guys got like gang crips and stuff, colors you could tell me about. All I would say is, are you going to the town? If you're going to the town or the city, I just lost 7-8 years of my life, videos, all sessions, beats, all kind of stuff by the bippage. The bippage is untameable. It's not to be. You can't. Don't leave nothing. If you go there,
right.
Keep your belongings in the hotel or on you.
Stop it.
Do not leave nothing in the car. That go for anybody that's going out there. It's treacherous. It's terrible. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Right.
But you just have to, the bippage is on, it's untameable, man. Tameable.
That's great. I'm excited to go to the Bay, though. I'm actually going to Oakland.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be.
So look, when I got bipped.
Okay.
Right. Going to the vegan mob. Shout out to vegan mob in the town. So I could see my car. It's right there. So I'm like, I can see it. I'm doing a little interview. I'm looking back and forth, looking. I'm cool. I see it. So I'm leaving, walking up the little hill to get to. I see the car. I start looking. Wait a minute. Is that a shoe? Is that my red shoe? Hold up. Then you start seeing the glass. Everything started coming to focus. I was like, oh my God. So I look through the thing. They got everything. My computers are. I mean, 2 sets of computers, all kinds of stuff, right? But they left my MPC in the back in my keyboard. So the police come and the police say, "Look, man, we don't even take these things. You know what I'm saying? The bip is just this is crazy. We don't even do it." He started laughing. "You Rick Rock?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Check this out." He said, "Man, the mayor got bipped yesterday, right there. The whole little shit with the right the what do you call it? The people that caravans or whatever, right there."
What?
So the Warriors had a party or something, and she came and boop, right down there, right there. He started pointing. He said, "It's crazy."
Oakland's no place to mess with.
Yeah, I mean, and it's quick. I'm talking about 3 seconds. Bam. I give it 7 seconds.
Damn, that quick?
Yeah, 7, easy.
Yeah.
15,
see over here we got to be careful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with the different gangs, but out there we're just gonna get jacked.
Yeah, that's it. No, but it's a beautiful place. So you should enjoy yourself.
No, I'm gonna love it. Before I let you go, though, like the fact that we do have a K-Day here, you know what I mean, in LA, the first hip hop station in the country. This is where even Dr. Dre started off as, and we are playing. Every artist that you were in the studio with, they're still in heavy rotation here. Like, how important is this station to the culture?
It's a glue. It's like the heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? Like how it gets so far off right now is kind of the anchor I'm trying to say. Like
right.
Of the balloon's floating, but there's still that anchor thing. And it keep, because when I slide up, if I hear, "Baby, if I give it to you, you give it to me, I know what you want." And I'll be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Or all the old school, all the history, my history personally, and the history that I've known music to be, that I've seen it when I'm coming up, is still here being played and representing. And it's like looking at I'm thinking, well, how did y'all even deal with Dre and Easy and all of that? It's like, but without that, what I mean? Yeah,
it's crazy, right?
What if K-Day wasn't here? Who would have done it?
Right.
I guess maybe somebody.
Well, but
y'all did
like you said,
though.
it is the anchor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this is like, I don't know. It's just, to me, like, I agree with you. It's the anchor of what it is. We've got different stations. We've got new music, but this is where you come for the legacy artists. You come for the classic, timeless music that is still, I mean, we've got our artists that are still touring to this day.
Yep.
To this day, that's got a lot to say, and people are going crazy. And the fact that when we do have these concerts, do you know how much younger it's getting?
Right.
They're embracing this, and this is what they want.
Right.
Yeah, it says a lot, man. Rick Rock, thank you so much. I appreciate it, because I was like, I got to get you in the studio.
Man.
And we kept talking about it, but we finally did it.
You finally made it unfold like a launch.
There it is.
We in
I
here.
can't wait for the documentary, bro.
Yes, sir.